welcome to our training on CSS, advanced CSS training. Today we want to dwell on little things like, without much ado, let's explain just as we are talking. You'll be seeing what we want to do today, okay? Most of the advanced level that we're going to cover today has to do with border box, and then we also talk about color and gradients. Okay, so for us to kickstart it, let's come over on item. If you can see, right click and put lifesaver. Nothing is here, nothing to show. This is my item, index.html, nothing is there. I will also go to my index.css. If you also look, nothing is there. Okay, so we are starting it fresh. So I hold my shift key and press 1 for the HTML skeleton. Then here for the title, let me give me a title of let's say border box, or let's say box and box sizing. Okay, box sizing, or it has to do with box. Okay, so let's say box tutorial, box sizing tutorial. Okay, but before we go into that, I want to link up some things like this Normalize.css. I want to link it up. But before I link it up, what actually is Normalize.css? If you check, most times if you're working on, before we start CSS, we always put asterisk, which is a universal selector. And in that universal selector, we make it clear that we want border 0, margin 0, right? So when we don't say border 0, margin 0, it looks as if it's just that simple. But of course, it's not that simple. Okay, a lot of things go in the background that you don't know. So for you to just cancel border 0, margin 0 will not help. So instead, use Normalize.css. Okay, so this Normalize.css will help you to make sure that everything is normalized to the real level. Okay, so if you check, I've opened it on my Google. I just type Normalize.css, and you can just check up here and type it on the website. It's a modern HTML5 ready alternative to CSS resets. So exactly what I'm working on right now is HTML5 and CSS3. Okay, so this is the best reset ever. So of using that universal selector of margin 0, border 0, padding 0. Okay, so all you do is when you are here, just click on download v8.0.1. okay, click on download. When you eventually download, just copy everything here, select everything here and copy. Okay, and create a folder for it and name the folder Normalize.css, and paste everything on this folder and then save. Okay, so this is what you're going to do here. It's save, copy, paste, then save your work, and that's all. Okay, so having explained that, we now have to link it up. You come to your HTML and then link it up. Okay, how do you link it up? The same process you use in linking up your CSS. So just write link, then here you use Normalize.css, since that's what you use to save it. Okay, you can see with anything, but I use that so I will know what I'm talking about. So the next thing to do is to add our CSS, the same link. Let's have an external link to our CSS. This time around to be index.css. okay, index.css. So now that we've linked these two up, we are actually good to go right now. The next thing we want to do is to come to the body. Okay, and on this body, let's say CSS3 tutorial, CSS3 tutorial. Okay, then let's come down and create a div, maybe like can create like 2 div. One is okay, but div.box, then another one. Okay, let's make use of one. Control S for save. So come over to your CSS. Let's continue our work. I've told you Normalize.css. I've told you the role of that. It helps to normalize all your work so that there won't be much problem. Okay, so now let's talk about border box. Most times if you come to your, for example, let's use that div.box, okay, dot boss. So because of normalize.css, we're not going to do universal selector, padding 0, margin 0. No, we are through with that from now on. So under dot boss, I'll give him a width. Let's give me a width of say 200 pixels. Okay, 200 pixels, and also a height of same height 200 pixels. Okay, height 200 pixels. So our width and our heights are all 200 pixels, right? So let's give me a background color so we can see what we are doing. Background color, let's make it aqua. Okay, make it aqua, and then I think with this you can see what we are working on. Okay, don't always forget to save your work. Always use that Ctrl S for save. Okay, if you check what we did, I've applied already. I just want to clear all this so I can have enough space for what we are, enough space to work on. So this is it. So now notice something. Let's add a background to this. Okay, let's say sorry, padding. Let's add a padding to this. Okay, so let's say we want to add a padding, say padding of 100 pixels. Okay, Ctrl S for save. What did you see? You notice the increment? It increased immediately. It increased immediately. Now what if we type some things? Let's go back to our HTML and try to type some things. Let's just type some things into that box. Let's say border boss tutorial, border boss tutorial. Let's save it. Did you see it? It increased the more again. So anything you add to this box, it will keep on increasing. Remember what we did is actually padding of 200 pixels, margin of 200 pixels. By the end of the day, what are we seeing? We are seeing 300 pixels or render, additional 100 pixels to it. But that's not what we want. What we want is actually 200 pixels. So for us to now work around it to come back to 200 pixels, what do? We have to minus 100 pixels from this width of 200. You minus 100 pixels here, and you go to the height and also do the same, minus 100 pixels. So what we're supposed to do 200 pixels, we end up doing it for 100 pixels, just to make sure that the width and everything rhyme together. Okay, that is the problem. But normally if you use border box, those problems can easily be solved. Let's bring it to 100 pixels, then go to S for save. Exactly, now come back to the 200 pixels, because that 100 from padding plus 100 from width and height make it 200 pixels. But we want to retain our 200 pixels at the same time. Make sure that this box is exactly 200 pixels. What can help us to do that? Let's add it back to 200 pixels. And so to happen, I'll add this. Let's take this back to that same 200 pixels. 200 pixels. Let's save it. It's bigger now, right? Now let's add border box. Okay, that is box sizing. Okay, let's add box sizing and let's make it border box. Border box. Ctrl S for save. See that it will reduce immediately. Ctrl S for save. Do you see it? It came back to exactly 200 pixels without we having to start calculation of how many I'm going to minus or stuff like that. So border box has its own beauty, and it's exactly part of its own beauty. Okay, so let's go to the next one, which has to do with you want to turn this box through a kind of circle. Okay, we want the box to be circle. How do we achieve that? Although we'll be doing it before now, so we are just wrapping it up for you to know. With CSS3, it's very easy. Okay, it's very easy. So let's still go on to the same box. We put this time around border radius. That is to turn it to a circle. Border radius, we make it 100 pixels or 100%. Sorry, 100%. 100%. Ctrl S for save. Did you see it? Immediately it turned to a circle. Okay. What if you want it to be rounded corner? We can use the 100 and maybe make it 10 pixels. Ctrl S for save. Become rounded corner. 40 to be rounded corner. Okay. So this is how you can actually use CSS3 to achieve rounded corner. Very easy, very simple. Before now, sometimes you have to go and do it somewhere, create the circle somewhere, come over here and add it as background. But with CSS3, those days are gone. Okay, so let's take it back to circle. And apart from making it circle, we can still try to create something out of here. Let's try to see if we can actually create something. Let's see border top. Let me make the border top reduce. Border top reduce. Let's make it 100% as well. Okay, 100%. Let's for save. Then let's go ahead again and let me just add the radius so that you know what I'm doing. Yeah, border top right radius. So I will still do the same thing. Enter. Then let's add another border bottom left radius. Border bottom left radius. Let's see, make it 100%. Okay, 100%. Then let's see border top right radius, border bottom right radius, and see border bottom left radius, border bottom left radius. Okay, let's for save. Then border bottom left radius. Border bottom right radius. Let me just clear this, that there's a mistake. Okay, let's for save. Normally it's not working with my system, but normally you see that you form a shape. Okay, a kind of love shape, you know. But if it didn't work with your system, like it didn't work with my system, you can also use what you call WebKit. Okay, because most of these modern browsers, they don't always go in line with this CSS3 right away. So for them to work, you have to use WebKit. Okay, WebKit. If you use WebKit dash border dash radius, it will finally work for you. Okay, but I don't want to go into that, but know that you can use it. Let me just show you the things you can use. If it didn't work, you try like that. This what you are trying to achieve did not work, and you want it to work. So for it to work, you apply 3 important methods. Okay, let me show you the 3 methods. You can use WebKit, and this is it. It's not animation time around, but it's going to be WebKit dash border. Okay, dash border. So with this, you can add your border top layer with that type of using that WebKit. It's going to work. You can see the shape that we're trying to create. Why for some browsers WebKit doesn't work. So if WebKit doesn't work, the next thing we're going to try is Moz. Okay, we have another one again, which is Moz. So we keep it dash Moz border radius. Okay, Moz. We don't want to work on it now because we're going to make use of this very well as time goes on. So no need of, like when we get animation, we make use of all these modes. That's why I don't want to use us to start using it now. But know that there exists. You can use them. Moz border. Okay, radius. So you can actually use Moz too and do the call, and then in the day you will actually get what you want. But don't forget the Moz dash border dash radius. It work on its own. If that one didn't work, we try dash WebKit dash border dash radius, and that too can work. Okay, so or you use the normal border top border radius, border dash radius. Okay, So for some system, it recognize border dash, like mine recognize border dash reduce and turn it to circle. But for other one, like trying to change that circle to be like more of a log or more of an egg, it not accept. But if you use this web I'm talking about, it's gonna accept any one of them. Okay, so this is how far we can go with border reduce. Let's wrap it up with another one which has to do with, apart from border reduce, sometimes you say a thing. So right now we want to work on transparency. Okay, I can have a transparent background. Okay, though sometimes people find it, for example, you go to some place, I want it to be transparent. How do you achieve that goal too in CSS? Let me use a title for this. So let me go back and give a title something like H1 or something. Okay, so go back to the title and we make it like H1. Okay, let this title be on H1, so I can actually design it as H1 and make use of it. So since it's H1, I will call this part of it. Okay, call this part of it cut, come over here and paste it here. Okay, Ctrl S for save. Nothing, you see it's H1 is heading 1, see it has increased, and so it creates a little space for us. That's the advantage of that Normalize.css. Okay, so we now come to our index.css and see how we can work with H1. Okay, I didn't close, but I didn't delete this. If I do, I'll bring it back. Okay, let me close all of this. We don't need them all. The only thing we need there, I think it has been, we've applied them already. Okay, so let's leave that box size in border box. In fact, I'm seeing something look like I actually open this twice. Sorry, let's clear this and it should be on the right side. Okay, yeah, it's there, it's there. So border box sizing, border box sizing, border box. Okay, sorry, I want to restart this because there's something I'm seeing but I don't like it. Okay, that box, then open this, bring it down, Ctrl V, Ctrl S. So height 200, width 200, box sizing, border box. Then let's bring our image back using background color, and I actually use aqua. Okay, let's for save. Yeah, it's our image. Yeah, they are back, everything is back. So let's now work on the heading. I'll start with H1, open the code browser, bring it down. This H1, I will just give me some feature. Let me give me a font width, font size, let's say 16 pixels, or let me make it 18 pixels. Press for save. Then font width, let's give him this. Press for save. And let's give him the color is okay. Let's give a color to our background. Let's give a background color that will actually cover all of this color. okay, to the body. So let's give the body a kind of color, okay, so that we can achieve what, remember, when we do it transparency, okay. So body, bring it down, background color, just background color, we won't give the body any other thing. Background color, let's make it something like brown, okay. Address for save, yeah, better like this. So for our right up, let's give him white, okay, color white. All this we did them when we started, so it's no more new for you, you know all of this. Address for save. And then let's give this a padding of say 30 pieces, and let's give me a margin. Let's give it a margin, so there'll be a kind of space, okay. Margin of say 50 pieces. Yes, yeah. So now with the margin and padding, everything is okay. So let's now bring out the space. Let's give him a background so we can see what we're working on. So let the background be something like azure, okay. The rest for save. Yeah, so this is what we're working on, exactly this. Let's now turn this back instead of white. Let's make it black because of that. So in terms of color, you have color palette. Like here, what you do is you choose the one you want. If you want to be a little bit white, a little bit darker, that's when you can use this, and it goes a long way, okay. And apart from when you use this, find out that you have RGB. Now this RGB, let me save what I did. You said I give him RGB of 35, 34, 14, right? RGB stands for red, green, blue, but there is no A. And if I put it like RGBA, the A on it now becomes the transparency, okay. So let's assume that this background color that we gave this, let me go to background color and work with background color. Let me give him like this, okay. Ctrl S for save. Or that is not, I want to be a little bit white. Ctrl S for save. Yeah, let it be something like this. So if you know that the RGB that we gave this, let me increase this so you can see what I'm talking about, and actually reduce. Let me reduce this one too, and increase this because I want to be seeing the whole thing. So background color, I have RGB of 78, 82, 82. Now let's add A to it and see what will happen. So instead of just RGB, become RGBA, okay. Now for the A that we just add now, let me also come over here and increase that transparency, so to 1 should be 1% transparency. Press for save. You see it become, you can't see anything. You give me that something like background color on it, okay, because it's full, it's full, okay. But what if I bring this out and give you 0. Say 0.7, Ctrl S for save. It started coming up a little, okay. What if I give him 0.1 and Ctrl S for save? So it's found that it's coming up only the right top, So that is how you aim for transparency. Transparency starts from 1 to 0. 1 is full, okay. 0, it becomes less transparent. People can no longer see what is going on. Just like 100%, can use percentage like 100%, 30%, 20%. So depending on exactly what you want to accomplish. So this is how you work with what? Transparency, okay. So I didn't talk about transparency in our next class. I don't want this class to be too long. If I wanted us to handle color at the same time, so I can wrap up everything. But let me get to the next class. Next class we deal with color and gradient, and probably we also do a shadow, boss shadow, text shadow. If you can cover these two together, okay. I'm trying to wrap up this class, that's why we're trying to rush taking one example like this. But at your own time, feel free to work over it again, do more examples, create more things, discover things, make mistakes, correct yourselves, and before you know, you are growing. Thank you for hanging around with Steven. See you in our next class, and please don't forget to subscribe for us. This is a free training. Your subscription goes a long way in supporting us and helping us for this free training we are giving you. Thank you and bye.